Hi, my name is Bob. I'm here at CrossFit Glen Burnie, located in Odenton, just a few minutes from Fort Meade. You can take exit 5 off of Route 32, and we're right here for you. So today I want to share some tips for the new Army Combat Fitness Test. The Army Combat Fitness Test, you may have heard, has events that are similar or might benefit from some CrossFit training. There are 6 events: a maximum deadlift, a standing power throw, hand release push-up, a sprint drag carry, a leg tuck, and a 2-mile run. Today what we're going to talk about is the sprint drag carry. The event's going to start with a sprint from the starting line to the turnaround point. You do have to touch the ground at the turnaround point for the sprint. When you return from the sprint, you will have a 90-pound sled that you're going to drag down to cross the line at 25 meters, turn around, and come back with the sled to also cross the line. Then you're going to perform a lateral movement to the 25 meters and back. Then finally you'll have the kettlebell carry. You'll have 2 40-pound kettlebells that you'll be carrying. And you'll take those down to the 25-meter mark and return. And then finally, you'll complete the event with a 25-meter sprint down to 25 meters and back. So we got some tips for you on getting your best time for this event, and let's go over those right now. The first thing is going to be to actually practice this event, to get set up with all of the equipment that you need, and have a partner with a stopwatch, or preferably a coach that can help watch what you're doing, possibly even videotape the event, just to, so you can play it back and see how it plays out for you. The first, knowing the order of the movements and practicing those transitions can really save you time in the actual event. What is easier to do? Sprint 10 seconds faster in the event, or save yourself 10 seconds so that we know exactly which piece of equipment we're grabbing next and being able to make that transition quickly? You're going to save much more time by making quick transitions than you will be by running really fast. So let's move on to the next tip. The next tip is that first sprint. It's a little bit of a trap. If you sprint that first sprint at 100% effort as fast as possible, you will not get your best score. So what we're going to encourage folks to do is to sprint that first one at about 80% effort. Practice that. Know what your max, how long it takes you to do 25 meters down and back, and then just back that off a few seconds, test that out and see what that 80% effort feels like. It's going to give you a little more gas in the tank for the other, the rest of this event. So for that tip is basically don't sprint 100% effort on your first sprint. Save that for the last sprint. For the drag, what we have is, we'll just move these kettlebells out of the way. For the sled drag, I don't think I have this quite set up right. You're going to have straps. The ones in the actual event are doubled up, so let's double this up so that it more closely resembles the event. So for that matter, this is going to go around this way. And we'll come through here, just like that, and we'll have some straps for the event, much like that. The total sled weight, I believe, is 90 pounds. And you have lots of options for how you're going to grab or grip the straps, right? So you can grab them by these handles, you can grab them on these straps. I suppose you could grab it with one hand, and things like that. Well, of course, practicing and seeing what works best for you is going to be important. My recommendation, or our recommendation, is going to be to take a shorter grip on this strap. That's just going to pull this sled up off of the ground and give you a shorter distance for you to have to cover in order to cross the line, versus having that sled trailing way far behind you and then trying to get that sled to cross the line. It's going to cost you some seconds given this extra distance on this. So a shorter grip on the strap is a tip that we have. Practice that, of course, and see what works best for you on that. So the next part is that shuffle. The shuffle can be a little bit of a mud pit if you don't practice running, or lateral, I should say, not a shuffle. If you don't practice that lateral movement in your training, that can actually cost a precious seconds just doing that movement. So practice your lateral movements so that you can save seconds. These are easy seconds to get back. Because it's not a max effort on that by any stretch of the imagination. Just moving your body laterally should be an efficient movement for you. That brings us on to the kettlebell carry. You'd have two 40-pound kettlebells. You want to make sure, of course, that your hands are dry. If you're able to put some chalk on there, that's just going to help with that grip, but that's probably not an option. So just making sure your hands are dry when you grip the kettlebell. Gripping the kettlebell in a full meaty grip and wrapping those thumbs around is going to give you the best grip possible. Gripping toward the front part of the handle can be a little bit easier versus being toward the back part of it, because we're going to be holding that in this part of the grip with that. The movement that you want with this is obviously not an all-out jog where we're bouncing with these kettlebells. You want more of a heel-toe shuffle, keeping yourself pretty much from bouncing a lot. So heel toe, quick choppy steps are going to be much better than big, long, bouncy strides. So that's a good tip for the kettlebells. There's one turnaround with the kettlebells when you get to the 25-meter mark and you need to turn around. There's going to be a tendency as you're turning around for these kettlebells to want to swing out. That's going to slow you down. You're going to lose a second or two there. Keeping the kettlebells close together as you turn around is going to be a quicker turnaround. So just think about keeping those kettlebells as you're turning around close to the center and just steering them around. You're going to make a quick transition around that 25-meter mark. Well, once you bring those kettlebells back to the line, you only have one more sprint down and back, and now is the time to empty the tank. This is an all-out 100% effort down and back. So there's no real reason to hold back here. It's just going to be a quick down and back. Make your all-out effort. Don't forget to touch the line at the other end and sprint all the way back. When you are coming back, just sprint through. Don't try to stop. That's going to slow you down. Just sprint right through the line. You'll get your best time. Anyway, I hope these tips have been helpful for you. We have tips on all 6 of the events. So check out all these videos and have a great day.